Hey guys, welcome back to my garden here in Portugal. Spring is almost over, so that spring tour is well overdue. So without further ado, let's start similar to what I did with the winter tour, showing you the north, then the east, south and west of my garden. Let's go. Okay, first thing, a new tree. This is a loquat tree, and I had the big one here where the workshop is, but unfortunately the fruit wasn't that good and I still had to cut it down to build my workshop. So now I bought a new one. And down here we've got my cat, Beludo, and the pepper plant. And moving along, let's have a look at the lemon tree, which is full of lemons now. You can see here, plenty of new lemons. Some already nearly ready. Okay, well, that's ready. And here, my cherry tomato jungle. Look at the size of these. Spring is not even over yet, and they're already, I don't know, 8 feet tall. Maybe not, maybe 7 feet tall. Full of fruit. Look at these. Black cherry, super sweet 100. This was supposed to be cherry, I think it's Isis candy or something like that, or Isis candy, I don't know, but it degenerated and put out bigger tomatoes. The color is the same, but they should be way smaller. Another super sweet 100. This is the Sakura. This is just packed. Look at sun peach. Look at this. Look how many fruit on this plant. Okay, that's the color. And more sakuras here. You can see this is absolutely loaded with tomatoes. Tomatoes, whatever. This is a Rosella purple, a dwarf tomato. Got one here, another one there, some more here. And as expected, wild rocket just sprouted again and sticking over, and I like that. Look at this. This is Sakura plant. Oh, there's a nice one there. Sakura tomato. This is so good and a good producer as well. Good tomato flavor and sweet. Very good. I started harvesting some of these about a couple of weeks ago. It could have been sooner or earlier, but I did not grow this single stem, as you can see, or even two stems. And that's because I need the foliage to create shade due to the intense heat we get here. I mean, it's only spring and we already had a couple of days of 40 degrees heat. So they seem to be doing all right, and that's because there's a lot of foliage here for shade. Of course, it might be a bit out of hand at the moment, but well, it's cherry tomatoes, just let them do their thing. And now let's have a look at the other tomato plants. As you can see, I've already built the trellis. This was part of the project list, so that's one down, and it works a treat. I got these tubes for free. They're galvanized steel, 2mm thick wall. This was part of a shelter that got blown over, or actually destroyed, during the latest storm we had here in Portugal, and the guy just decided to make a new one. So he gave me this. I said, don't throw those away. I said, okay, take them. So I've got plenty of tubes to make other structures as well. This is the mortgage lifter. It's the first season I'm growing this. I've always heard so much about it, and now I actually have a plant here and it's loaded with fruit. That's so many tomatoes there. And I have already harvested the first of the big tomatoes, and it was actually the mortgage lifter. I had one just there, tried it, and although it's not on my top three, this thing is really tasty. If you like that traditional strong tomato taste, this is it. It's really nice, and it's a good producer as well. Right next to the mortgage lifter, we've got the Brandywine Sudooth. This is on my top three for the most tastiest tomatoes. Of course, this is a personal taste, but I always grow 3 or 4 of these plants, while I might grow 1 or 2 of the others only. It's not the biggest producer, but the taste is worth it. Although this year there are already quite a few tomatoes here. I think I might have to make a video just for the tomato varieties I'm growing, because otherwise it's going to get too long. Just to show you my 3 favorite plants, which is the Sudooth, then the Cherokee Purple, and the Rosella Purple. Okay, Rosella Purple dwarf tomato. Look at this. It's already plenty fruits here. That is set. This is setting. Yep, that flower is going to be a tomato. That one and that one and that one. More there. And nice big ones here as well. Well, these flowers have been fertilized, so they're probably going to turn into tomatoes. They didn't drop, they're not drying. More tomatoes here, here, more there. And this one, no, this is the next one. Okay, right next to the Rosella Purple, another one of my top 3. So that's the Brandywine Sudooth, Rosella Purple, and Cherokee Purple. This is Cherokee Purple variegated. The leaves are not potato leaf like the usual Cherokee Purple. This is variegated, and the taste is this. I can't tell any difference. So the taste is the same. I have a lot better results with this in terms of production than I have with the other one. Let's put some leaves that you might think this is some kind of disease, but no. All the plants have grown like this every year, and they eventually turn darker green, some of them not completely. And this one has a lot of tomatoes growing. Look, there, in there, more here, back there, another bunch here. I never managed to get this many fruits on the original Cherokee Purple plant. Anyway, there's a watermelon growing somewhere there. And before we move to the south, I've got my pepper plants here. These are the ones I left outside during winter, so I can't really call it overwintering the peppers, because they were just left out here. We did not have that many frost days this year, so maybe that I was lucky, but they are full of peppers. As you can see, this is a thick stem there, and they've got this is one plant with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 peppers just in that plant. This one is putting out some flowers and some peppers already as well, and the same with this one. And they're actually doing much better than the ones I planted this year. So I might give it a try and overwinter it again. This time try to actually protect it, because 2 of them died. And now we're going to move to the south. Another lemon tree, which is doing all right. Plenty of new lemons, and some already good for harvesting. And here I've got some pepper plants which I planted out of season actually. I went to the supermarket, bought this big bell pepper, red bell pepper, and I took the seeds out, planted them sometime October, November, which is way out of season, and then I just left it outside. They survived. I'm not sure how good these are going to be, because I just got seeds from the fruit itself. I can see one here which is getting some color, and they should be huge, not this size. So let's see how they turn out. My pear tree. I didn't have time to prune it when I should have, so it grew way too much, and now the pears are way too high. But a pear is a pear, even if it's growing up there. But anyway, okay, this video is getting way too long. It's getting way too hot. Sweating through my t-shirt already. So let's hurry up. This is mint. It's everywhere in the garden, which is okay, I guess, if you have to have a cover crop. I don't have any mulch here on this side of the garden. I do like to keep this kind of wild. I do mulch the other side though. So mint taking over. My small orange tree, about again 5 or 6 years old, I can't remember. It's not doing too well, but it's not too bad either. The fig tree, that is full of figs. Actually a good fig here. Look at that. Nice one. And this is loaded with new figs. Big figs, small figs. I did cut this back this year quite a lot, but these trees grow so much and so quick. Look at this. I'm gonna have to do a big cutting again next year. Now let me get some figs. Really sweet. And now, before we move to the south, let me just show you, this is my tangerine tree. There are quite a few tangerines already. Last year I didn't have any, I don't know why. It had plenty of them, and then it just dropped most of the fruit, or actually all the fruit. But this year I think I need to give it another spray, because getting some aphids again. But she'll be alright. This tree is over 30 years old already, so still going strong most years. Let's have a look at the grapevines. Okay, these are the seedless white grapes. They won't grow much more than that. They are really sweet. They were attacked by caterpillars earlier this month, but I sprayed them and they're all gone now. As you can see, there's still some damage, but there's no caterpillars anymore. Next ones, they are green grapes. They do have seeds, but they are delicious. Got nice bunch here. This one's gone, didn't like it. That one's gone as well, unfortunately, but it's better than last year when I had none of them. Finally, these are red grapes, and they always put out bunches like this. Look really scruffy, but they are very good. They do have big seeds though, but they are really tasty. And of course, my orange tree, 50 years old, still putting out really nice oranges. There's quite a few again this year, so never had problems with this tree. My pergola project still halfway through, just as it was in the winter tour. Never had a chance to grab it. Cherry tree that doesn't produce any cherries. Again, it was loaded with flowers as always, and it's absolutely beautiful, and the scent is gorgeous. Then they did turn into small fruits, and when they were the size of a pea, they all dropped, as they do every year. Never had a cherry out of this tree. we do not have enough cold for this variety here. I keep it for the flowers and for the shade, and because, to be honest, I think it's a shame to cut it. It's such a big tree now. Maybe I can graft something into this. I don't know, maybe. And under the cherry tree, more mint, of course. Tons of parsley, which is now bolting. This comes up every year, don't even have to plant ever. This will just go to seeds, drop the seeds, and next year, here it goes, big patch of parsley again. It actually took over my strawberry patch, but I need to control this better next year. As you can see here, it invaded the strawberry patch. I already cut it back a bit. This is some lemon balm here. Strawberries. This one is actually good. They're not the best strawberries, but they do taste like strawberries, just not that sweet. And on this side, these are the peppers that I planted this year. They're not, except this one. This was a Ancho Grande or something like that. I don't really fancy them, but since the plant didn't die over winter, I decided to give it a chance. But it's not doing too well this year for some reason. And the new ones, as you can see, they're way behind the ones that spent the winter outside. There's no peppers whatsoever. They're just now putting out some flowers. They do get a bunch of shade here. Maybe I should move this pot to a sunnier spot. Yeah, that might happen. And my Genura procumbens, which is longevity spinach, is taking over. It's everywhere. I have a big pot there. Let's have a look at it. Look at this longevity spinach. This pot used to be under the pear tree. I moved it here, and well, look at this. It just grows so much. I can't eat all of this. This is gorgeous in salads, but I can't eat this much salad. I already harvested about 20 lettuces this year, and some spinach, some cucumbers. Yeah, I can't wait to do that chicken coop so I can have a couple of chickens. At least they will be happy to peck on this. All right, let's have a look behind me. I'm trying this 3-tray system, something I found in the bin. Growing some coriander here. Now that the plants on this tray are this big, I'm gonna sow more here on this one. And once these ones are this size, I will sow the bottom one. By then, this should be big enough. I'll be harvesting this and so on, because that's the only way I can keep coriander fresh all the time. Because this thing just grows, bolts and dies. It's way too hot here. Oh, and by the way, behind me, together here with the peppers, there's a cucumber plant. I have harvested maybe a handful of cucumbers from this plant already, and it's now going up there. It's not setting that much fruit at the moment, but well, let's see. Now let's go on the other side. Still this bed, but on the other side. Okay, and here by the parsley and the strawberry patch, I've got these tomato plants. This is a Granny Cantrell, and this one is a Rose de Burn. I started this way earlier than all the others. I think was like December last year I started these. By the time I put them on the ground, they were already this big. I wanted to see if they would produce more or sooner than other plants that I started in end of January, which is when I usually put the seeds down. And to be honest, they have grown. They have lots of tomatoes, but they are not ripening any faster than the other ones. As you can see, they are massive. They do have tomatoes. There, nice bunch there, there, in there, more here, there, there. Same with this one. Look at these. These are not plums, these are tomatoes. Look at that, another bunch there, here, and again. This is actually good. roast the burn. Bit of cracking there. And as you can see, I have barely pruned this either. This is like, I don't know, it's not 4 stems. This is just going wherever you want. When they grow way too much, I cut the top and keep the tomatoes there. But next to tomatoes, there's my lettuce patch. Unfortunately, I've harvested most of them and did not plant more back. And now all I have is these little ones, and well, that one's getting really tall. And my cat, to make things worse, has decided that this is a really shady and cool spot and he likes to lie down there. So he's been lying down there over my lettuces. Look at that. It's just, with so many places he could lie down in the garden, he decides to come and lie down on top of my lettuces. Anyway, and my walking stick cabbage. They're doing okay despite of the high temperatures we had. This plant is like over 2 years old, as you can see. It's been pruned there. Same with this one. As you can see, I pruned it. These are just shoots coming out now. Let's get this flat leaf. Same with this one. Cut it once, twice, and now another one. Bunch of leaves coming out. Same with this one. Just cut it, and now I've got a new 2 shoots again. And this is how I keep my cabbages producing year after year after year. If you haven't seen the video, I'll link it here or here, I don't know, where I show you how I prune these, so I can have cabbage every year for 2 years, 3 years. As you can see, this plant is 2 years old already, and it's been pruned twice already, and it's still putting out some leaves. They might not be looking too good, but bear in mind, like I said, we've had really high temperatures and they're still putting out new leaves, so can't beat cabbage on demand. And my plum tree, I try feeding it more, but it's still, the leaves are still not looking that great. It does have a few plums here and there. There. Yeah, a few plums, but not quite as much as I've seen this tree produce. It sometimes gets so many of them that they just drop before I can eat them all. I don't think that's going to happen this year. And now you may ask, how do I keep this lush garden in Portugal? Well, I've got a well and I've done my automatic watering system. Another project done. So let's have a quick look. Right, this is a really deep well and I'm pumping water from around 20 meters deep. This is the controls here. I've installed now the automatic watering system, which is nothing more than a timer which is connected to the pump, and that waters only once a day for 15 minutes. That's all, and you see the results are plenty. Let's see the little sprinklers. I can override it, of course. Okay, so I've got some pipes coming up in here, as you can see. That waters the tree and splits in two. That is a lawn sprinkler from my old lawn, which turned into a weed patch, so I gave up. And the rest of the garden, it's all watered with these little sprinklers. Well, now the hose comes all the way here. You can see that side of the garden, and the pipe comes in, waters the pots. It waters all the trees as well, the lemon tree, the orange tree, and the pear tree. And then the hose continues, one here, goes all the way there, and another one parallel on the other row of tomato plants. And they've got these little sprinklers, one for each plant. And another Cherokee purple variegated. See, look at the leaves. This is coming from the plant behind. And look at the amount of tomatoes there. Might actually have to support that. And it comes all the way to the cherry tree. Cherry tomatoes as well. And that's the end of the tour, guys. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you soon.